frog's journey to touch the skies. Once upon a time in a tiny lily pad lived a small frog named Fribbit. Fribbit was always full of energy, always wishing to leap higher than any other frog in the pond. Fribbit's favorite pastime was to watch the clouds float through the sky. He often wondered how it would feel to soar among them, but he was just a tiny frog. Fribbit's mother, Fribbella, always reassured him that he was perfect just the way he was, but Fribbit yearned for more. He didn't just want to sit on his lily pad all day. One day, a wise old turtle named Torty came to the pond. Fribbit was fascinated by Torty's stories of traveling and seeing new places. He wondered if he could do the same. Torty noticed Fribbit's curiosity and asked him about his dreams. Fribbit told Torty about his desire to leap higher and explore the world beyond the pond. Torty was touched by Fribbit's ambition and decided to help him. He told Fribbit that in order to leap higher, he must train and strengthen his tiny legs. Fribbit was motivated. Every day, he practiced jumping from lily pad to lily pad, always aiming to jump a little bit higher than the last time. He was determined to reach his goal. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. Fribbit's leap started to get higher and farther. He could see further than he had ever seen before. One day, Fribbit saw a tall tree on the other side of the pond. He dreamed of leaping onto its highest branches and looking over the whole pond. The idea scared Fribbit, but he was also excited. He knew that if he could make it to the top of the tree, he would fulfill his dream of soaring among the clouds. The next day, Fribbit woke up early and made his way to the base of the tree. The tree seemed so much taller from the ground, but Fribbit was ready. He took a deep breath and leapt onto the first branch. His heart was pounding, but he was determined. He leapt from branch to branch, slowly climbing upwards. As Fribbit climbed higher, he became scared. The ground was so far away and the wind was stronger up in the tree. He wanted to give up and leap back down to the safety of his lily pad. But then he remembered his dream and how far he had come. He remembered Torty's words and his own determination. He took another deep breath, summoned his courage, and leapt higher. Fribbit continued to climb higher and higher. His muscles ached, but he didn't stop. He was so close to reaching the top that he could almost touch the clouds. Fribbit's family and friends watched from the pond below, cheering him on. He could hear their voices carried by the wind as he made the final leap onto the highest branch. Fribbit was overjoyed. He could see the entire pond from up here, the lily pads, the other frogs, and even Torty. He felt like he was soaring among the clouds just as he had dreamed. Being up so high, he realized that the world was so much bigger than his little pond. He promised himself that he would explore more, leap to new places, see new things. With newfound courage, Fribbit leapt back down from the tree, greeted by cheers from his family and friends. He made a promise to himself to continue training, pushing his boundaries. Every day, Fribbit trained harder, always aiming to leap higher. He had seen the world from above, and he yearned to explore it more. His journey had only just begun. He would always remember the day he leapt to the top of the tree, and the turtle who had encouraged him. He wouldn't let fear hold him back. He was Fribbit, the frog who leapt to new heights. Fribbit's story spread throughout the pond, inspiring other young frogs to dream big and leap higher. They all looked up to Fribbit who had dared to leap beyond what was known. One day, a young frog named Ribbit approached Fribbit. He was inspired by Fribbit's story and wanted to leap just as high. Fribbit smiled, ready to pass on his wisdom. Fribbit told Ribbit about his journey, about the training and perseverance. He told him about the fear and the courage. He told him to always dream big and never give up. Ribbit listened with wide eyes, inspired by Fribbit's story. He had a newfound respect for Fribbit and promised to train hard and dream big, just like Fribbit had done. And so, Fribbit's legacy lived on. His story inspired many frogs to dream big and reach for the skies. The pond was no longer just a pond, but a place of dreams and possibilities. Time went by, but Fribbit's story never faded. It was passed down from generation to generation, inspiring every new frog to dream big and leap high. As for Fribbit, he never stopped exploring. He leapt higher, saw more places, met more creatures. His life was an adventure, and he lived it to the fullest. Fribbit's leap was more than just a leap. It was a leap of faith, a leap of courage, a leap of determination. He showed everyone that even a tiny frog could reach the clouds. He proved that dreams do come true, that there are no limits when you have determination and courage. And most of all, he proved that anyone could take a leap to new heights. Now, whenever a tiny frog feels scared or unsure about reaching for their dreams, they look up at the sky and think of Fribbit. They think about the frog who dared to leap higher. So, here's to Fribbit, the frog that leapt to new heights. Here's to the frog that taught us to dream big, to push our boundaries, and to never stop exploring. The name of Fribbit has evolved into a representation of bravery and resolve within the pond. His narrative persists in kindling inspiration and encouragement. He serves as a reminder that no aspiration is excessive, no bound insurmountable. Fribbit's tale stands as evidence of the potency of dreams and the resilience of determination. It narrates the journey of a diminutive frog harboring a monumental aspiration, one that he actualized through his daring leap. Consequently, within a small pond brimming with lily pads, Fribbit transformed into a mythic figure, a frog that soared to unprecedented heights, igniting aspirations of grandeur in successive frog generations. River of Hope. Once upon a time, in a small town called Riverbrook, there flowed a beautiful river. The river was the pulse of the town, adored by all forms of life. The people, animals, and trees all relied on its crystal clear, sparkling waters. Over the years, though, something sad began to happen. The brilliant river began to suffer. Pollution and neglect started to choke it, threatening its very existence. The life it once joyfully supported now stared at its pitiful state. In the heart of Riverbrook lived a young girl named Maya. She was different from the other children of her age. Maya had a deep love for nature and a burning desire to protect the environment. It broke her heart to see the river, once pristine and full of life, now struggling for survival. She couldn't bear the fact that the river she had grown up around was deteriorating so swiftly. Maya decided to take action. She made it her mission to restore the river to its former glory. But she knew she couldn't accomplish such a feat alone. It was going to be a communal effort. Maya began by spreading awareness about the importance of a clean river. She approached her neighbors, talked to them about the river's plight, and explained how their small efforts could bring about a significant change. She spent days going from door to door, sharing her concern and her vision for a cleaner river. Her infectious enthusiasm and unwavering determination started making a difference. People began to listen. Maya also organized a community meeting. She stood in front of the townsfolk, not as a lecturer, but as a concerned resident. She spoke about the beauty of the river and the danger that was clawing at its existence. People. They realized that their river, which they often took for granted, was slowly dying. And if they didn't step in, it wouldn't be there for future generations to enjoy. Motivated by Maya's passion, the townsfolk agreed to join hands to save their beloved river. They pledged to work together, to fight the pollution, and to restore the river's health. The day finally arrived when the people of Riverbrook collectively got to work. It was a bright and sunny morning, perfect for their mission. With gloves and trash bags in hand, they gathered at the riverbank, ready to clean. They picked up trash, pulled out non-biodegradable waste from the water, and worked tirelessly for hours. Maya led them all, igniting the spirit of camaraderie among the townsfolk. The people of Riverbrook didn't stop at just cleaning the river. They set up regular cleaning initiatives, built better waste disposal systems, and started educating others about the importance of a clean river. Children in schools were taught about the river's ecosystem and how to protect it. Riverbrook slowly started to change. The efforts of its people began to bear fruit. The river started showing signs of recovering. Finally, after months of consistent efforts, the river was restored to its original state. The water sparkled under the sun, and once again, all forms of life began to thrive around it. Maya's dream was realized. Her determination and love for the environment had rallied an entire town to save their river. The girl had become Riverbrook's environmental hero. That day, Riverbrook learned an important lesson. It learned that every piece of nature is valuable and needs to be cherished. It learned that everyone, no matter how young or old, has the power to bring about a meaningful change. Maya's story echoed through the town, inspiring many more to take up the cause of environmental conservation. She had sparked a movement that was larger than herself, larger than Riverbrook. The girl's efforts had not only saved the river but had breathed new life into the whole town. The people of Riverbrook now walked with a sense of pride, knowing they had helped in preserving their precious natural heritage. The tale of Maya and the river of Riverbrook will always be a reminder that it only takes one person to start a movement. When that person's intentions are pure and she is determined, she can inspire and rally others to her cause. Above all, this tale is a promise of hope. Hope that even when things seem at their darkest, there is always a light to be found. In this case, the light was in the heart of a young girl named Maya, who loved her river more than anything else. So, remember, dear reader, no matter how small you think you are, you too have the power to bring about a significant change. Like Maya, you have the ability to turn the tide and make the world a better place. A piercing alarm pulled Astronaut May from her slumber. Startled, she looked around the spaceship, her heart pounding in the eerie silence. Where was the rest of her crew? Panic started to creep in. Alone in the vast space, the calm, predictable world May knew was gone. Her eyes tracked the blinking lights on the control panel. She couldn't make sense of the readings. Something was off. Her ship was drifting aimlessly in the boundless cosmos. Her crew was nowhere to be found. This wasn't like the simulations. This wasn't like anything she had prepared for. She steadied her shaking hands and took stock of her situation. The communication system was down, she had limited supplies, and her navigation was shot. Time was against her. But May wasn't ready to give up. Not yet. With renewed determination, she started working on her options. Fixing the communication system was her first priority. Contacting her team was essential. Hours turned into days as May tirelessly worked to restore the systems. Her hands were bruised, her eyes were weary, but her spirit was undeterred. Alone, May found solace in the stars that surrounded her. She would often find herself staring into the vast expanse, yearning for home yet marveling at the beauty before her. Finally, after days of incessant work, she did it. The console came alive with a burst of lights and sounds. She had restored the communication system. She tried reaching out to her team, pleading for a response. Each passing second without a reply seemed like a lifetime. Finally, a crackling voice came through. It was her crew. They had been searching for May, trying to bring her back. Her heart soared. She was not alone. There was hope. However, her hurdles were by no means at an end. Within the immense void of space, locating her remained a pressing task. She had to steer them, assuming the role of the guiding light that directed them back to their home. Over the upcoming days, she and her crew adeptly traversed the celestial charts, surmounting hindrances and harmonizing their coordinates. Each action held significance, every choice was a risk taken. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, she saw it. The familiar shape of her spaceship moving towards her. Tears welled in her eyes as she prepared for docking. But something went wrong. The spaceship spun out of control, colliding with debris. Her heart dropped as the communication line went dead again. Time was running out. She had to act. Ignoring her safety, she decided to manually dock her ship with the incoming spacecraft. It was a dangerous gamble. May held her breath as she activated the thrusters, moving her ship towards the spinning spacecraft. It was a dance with destiny. With a thud, her ship latched onto the spacecraft. She had done it. She had successfully docked her ship against all odds. She made her way into the spacecraft, finding her crew unconscious but alive. Her mission was far from over. She had to get them home. The journey back was grueling. With a damaged spaceship, limited supplies, and a wounded crew, every day was a struggle for survival. But May remained undeterred. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Despite her weariness, she kept them alive, becoming their hope in the darkness, their guardian in the vast expanse of space. Finally, after countless sacrifices and struggles, they saw it. Earth. Their home. They had made it. Despite the odds, they had survived. As they entered Earth's atmosphere, May couldn't help but feel overwhelmed. She had conquered the vastness of space. She had saved her crew. They were home. The world hailed May as a hero. She had shown exceptional courage and determination in the face of insurmountable adversity. But to May, she was just doing her job. Every night, she would look up at the stars, reminded of her journey. The vast emptiness of space had become a testament to her perseverance, her survival, and her determination. The stars shone a little brighter, the moon a little bigger. And in the silence of the night, she would often find herself whispering to the stars, her companions in her solitude. To the world, she was the astronaut who had defied the odds. To her crew, she was their savior. But to the stars, she was one of their own. Her journey had ended, but her story remained. It was a tale of courage, determination, and survival. It was a testament to human spirit and its indomitable will. As May looked at the stars, she felt a sense of belonging. A part of her would always be up there, amidst the cosmos. She had found her home among the stars. In the face of the unfathomable expanse of the universe, May had proven that even the smallest spark can shine the brightest. And that spark was within all of us. In the silence of the universe, May had found her voice. She had risen from despair, against all odds, to bring her crew home, and in the process, had brought hope to an entire world. Her tale serves as a beacon of hope, a light in the darkness. It shows that even the most impossible tasks can be surmounted with determination and courage. And above all, it shows that no one is ever truly alone. Her story is a reminder for us all. A reminder to never give up, to keep fighting, and to always reach for the stars. For in the vastness of the cosmos, our potential is limitless. So, as May gazes at the stars each night, she remembers. She remembers the journey, the struggle, the triumph. And she knows that in each of us is a universe waiting to be explored. And so, as the soft whisper of the stars fills the silence, May smiles. For she knows, in the heart of the cosmos, amidst the endless expanse of the universe, she has found her calling. We appreciate your decision to engage with Storyland for Kids. We trust that today's experience was enjoyable for you. Your feedback holds great value to us, as it guides us towards refining our content. Anticipating the opportunity to introduce exciting adventures to your children, we're committed to bringing adventurous stories with extra charm each night. Please join us in our journey by subscribing to our channel and contributing to our growth. Thank you for being a part of this enriching storytelling venture.